American media have slammed Prince Harry after his two primetime interviews on both ideas of the pond. Fox and Friends host Ainsley Earhardt said in response to his interview with Anderson Cooper on CBS'60 Minutes that while everyone has family problems, you don't go out and spread it all to the world. She had been interviewing Piers Morgan, who branded the Duke of Sussex as being on a one-man mission to dismantle the monarchy. Prince Harry gave old friend Tom Bredby a candid interview with Britain's ITV ahead of the release of his controversial tell-all memoir Spare. In explosive revelations, Harry said he is not texting his brother and described Queen Consort Camilla as the villain. He told ITV's Bredby he was speaking out in his memoir because silence only allows the abuser to abuse. Both sides of the pond have been quick to react to the Duke's revelations, with American media given several high-profile interviews with the royal. Earhardt said on Fox and Friends, "You know, everyone has stuff that happens in their families, but you don't go out and spread it all to the world." Piers Morgan was quick to shut down claims by Harry that the British press were intrusive, telling the show, "He has turned out to be the single most intrusive person the royal family has ever been exposed to." CNN's Don Lemon spoke about losing several of his own family members, before adding that he hopes Prince William and Harry can heal their rift. Speaking to Cooper about the interview, he said, "It's interesting because you never get those people back, but he still has his brother in his life. That was the sad part for me when he said I don't think I'll ever be a member of the royal family again, which translated to me as, I don't think I can heal this rift. I hope they can. His brother is still here." However, today's Al Roker slammed Harry for not trying to resolve things with his family before going public. He said, "This goes so deeply it almost seems like he's trying to get back at them. It's all about family. Prince Harry could have learned about Craig Melvin, he wrote a book on his dad and addiction, but you didn't do it until after everything had been resolved. Until things had been taken care of, and then he went public because there was resolution, and that's how you do that." Bloomberg noted that Harry reserved real venom for his brother William, while the prince skillfully directed and produced his own melodrama. In an opinion piece for Bloomberg, Martin Ivins compares Harry and William's feud to other famous warring siblings, both fictional and non-fictional, and particularly those born from the resentment that comes from a firstborn's right to succeed. Ivins points to Jacob, who outwits a slow-witted elder brother Esser to win his father's inheritance, the Roy siblings in the HBO drama Succession, and the Miliband brothers in the UK, who vied for leadership of the Labour Party, with the younger of the pair, Ed Miliband, going on to win the position in 2010. He believes that Prince Harry is getting his revenge by publishing Spare for being made to feel second best by Buckingham Palace, casting doubt on Harry's insistence he is not trying to hurt his family. Prince Harry has skillfully directed and produced his own melodrama, Ivins says. Lacerating detail of his quarrels with William, Prince of Wales, will guarantee the warring brothers a place in history, he adds, saying the story resonates with people around the world. The difference, he notes, is that most disgruntled siblings don't get the chance to air their grievances to Oprah Winfrey. Ivins notes that during his interviews, Harry reserves the real venom for his brother, whom he accuses of parroting the Fleet Street newspaper line about Meghan's alleged high-handed ways, the piece says. While fights between boys are commonplace, the columnist writes, for two adults to row about whether Harry's beard should be shaved off for his wedding day seems absurd, if not pathetic. But despite all of Harry's complaints about the royal family, Ivins says that the prince seems reluctant to fully sever his ties. But if it is as rotten to the core as he suggests, why does he still hang on to his title? Ivins asks. Possibly, Harry just likes being royal because he is used to it and it suits him and his wife. There is the paradox of the tale. The man who has rocked the monarchy by storming out of it somehow can't let the old firm go, he speculates. All that being said, Bloomberg notes, Harry's revelations are going to sell a lot of books. Harry's book Spare has sparked a furor over his claims that William physically attacked him, while his admission he killed 25 Taliban members during the Afghanistan war generated protests in Helmand province. In shock remarks, Harry denied he accused the royal family of racism in his Oprah interview when wife Meghan Markle revealed an unnamed family member raised concerns about how dark their unborn son's skin would be. NBC News says that Harry unmasked his emotion and animosity toward Britain's royal family in the interviews that aired on Sunday. The network says Harry was taking aim at the royal family ahead of his bombshell memoir, which releases on Tuesday, although it was leaked ahead of time, revealing several new details of the prince's claims against the firm. The Washington Post says Harry has launched a full broadside against Buckingham Palace, with his latest media appearances focusing in particular on his comments about his stepmother Camilla. Harry said Camilla's willingness to forge relationships with the British press made her dangerous, and there would be bodies left in the street because of that. The New York Times notes that Harry was at times emotional in his interviews, but otherwise appeared at ease discussing his issues with the family. Harry's tell-all tales in his book include recounting how he took cocaine and magic mushrooms and lost his virginity to an older woman in a field behind a busy pub, with the stories have urinating the headlines for days. The New York Post's headline focuses on some of these more salacious details from the interviews. Prince Harry admits to drinking heavily using hard drugs on 60 Minutes. The Post's headline read on Sunday evening. Harry told Cooper that he did this as response to the trauma he suffered as a result of the death of his mother, Princess Diana, who was killed in a fatal car crash. Fox News, meanwhile, summarizes the top 5 bombshells in the 60 Minutes interview. These, it says, were Harry asking for proof that Princess Diana had died, that Harry sought experimental treatments for his anger, that Queen Consort Camilla was the villain, that he had a physical fight with William, and that Harry is currently not speaking to his father King Charles and his brother. Tabloid Page 6 focuses on Harry's admission that he still has questions about the death of his mother. During the interview, Cooper said Harry had written how he had believed his mother was still alive until the age of 23, when he visited Paris for the first time. During the ITV interview with Bradby, Page 6 reports how Harry told the presenter that there's a lot of things that are unexplained in relation to Diana's death. Harry also revealed how he felt slightly isolated and different from his family in his younger years following the death of his mother, but shared joyful times with his great-grandmother, the Queen Mother. The Duke also spoke about the royal family's mistrust of his wife Meghan Markle, allegedly sparked by her being American, an actress, divorced, black, before joking, "She must be a witch." Cooper put it to the Duke that his family dynamic was like Game of Thrones without dragons, but Harry replied, "I don't watch Game of Thrones, but there's definitely dragons, and that's again the third party, that is the British press." On account of Harry's royal celebrity status, particularly since marrying his American wife Meghan and leaving the UK for Los Angeles, the couple are also of significant interest to the Hollywood press. Covering Harry's Sunday night interviews, The Hollywood Reporter says the prince keeps the royal melodrama going with a series of much-talked-about TV interviews in the US and UK. Certain members of the British royal family may well have been avoiding the television on Sunday, THR says, following a week of damaging revelations. The magazine's headline focuses on Harry telling Cooper during the interview in Los Angeles, "The saddest thing is that it never needed to be this way," about the growing separation he feels from his family in London. Among all the shocking revelations from Spare, THR says the most incendiary revelation, which resulted in worldwide headlines, was of the altercation with William in 2019. Variety, meanwhile, reports on Harry's criticism of the controversial British TV personality Jeremy Clarkson, who was criticized at the end of last year for a newspaper column he wrote about his dislike of Meghan. "It was horrific, hurtful and cruel towards my wife," Variety quotes Harry as saying in the ITV interview. 2 more interviews are set to be broadcast, with Michael Strahan of Good Morning America on Monday and Stephen Colbert on The Late Show on CBS on Wednesday morning UK time.